Carl and Brendan here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's track by track time. We are taking a look at Dragonforce's Inhuman Rampage. The second Dragonforce album we've done in a track by track. I think me and Lou did Sonic Firestorm about a year ago, which was their second album. This is their third album. And pretty much one most people know. This is their big one.
Didn't know they had other albums. No,
yeah, they exist. Yeah, Valley of the Damned, Sonic Firestorm.
I didn't know they had other songs. I thought they only had that one. The Guitar Hero. Yeah, this is the one I recognize the most on, for sure.
Yeah. It is the third studio album, like I said, by the English power metal band Dragonforce, released on the 28th of December 2005 via Noise Records. Its first single, Through the Fire and Flames, has received an incredible amount of rock radio and airplay. It also appeared as a playable track on the video game Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock and Rocksmith's 2014 edition remastered. That Guitar Hero link was enough to turn this album and Dragonforce for a brief amount of time into pretty much worldwide superstars. Did you ever try playing it?
Yep.
Any good at it?
Not like to the level of what people would class as good. I could complete it on medium.
Okay.
But that was it. First, that's like four of the colored buttons, I think it was, for medium. I can't remember. But yeah, I could complete it on medium, but like it was one of those things that you had to play it. There was no natural talent with it, I don't think. You just had to play it so many times that your fingers would eventually just learn the exact same patterns without thinking. But I wouldn't be able to 100% it or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? When I say complete it on medium, there are plenty of times where I'm like, oh, fuck me. At least if I just hit one of these notes, then that'll be enough to stop me failing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's more like that.
Yeah, I've watched, I never really played those games, but I remember I watched someone like doing it on like the hardest difficulty and the pure speed. And all I kept thinking was, the amount of time it took you to learn to do that, you probably could have just learned to play the bloody song on a real guitar,
Yeah. To be fair, I mean, I was, not obviously modern consoles, it's a bit lacking, the older rhythm games.
Yeah.
But I was a big fan of them all. I probably still have like the majority of them. A Rock Band, I have like 2 or 3 versions of. Metallica, obviously, or there were a couple of kind of band collabs, weren't there? There was like Metallica. I didn't have the Green Day one.
Yeah.
Green Day, the Beatles.
That's right. Yeah.
I think maybe Aerosmith as well. Maybe. I'm not sure. Excuse me. But I had the Metallica one. They had like a little special edition guitar and all that. And actually, to be fair, this song and other songs, but this song was really, really good fun to play on it. It was good fun to try. So I know it's become a gimmick and it's become like a YouTuber, like, hey, watch me try and play it.
Yeah.
But actually, just as a gamer, it was just fun to play, man. That was all.
It was. Oversaturation of that market meant they all died, and that's why we don't really have them around these days either. But we are here to do the track by track on Dragonforce, not the games. But the very first track is Through the Fire and Flames, so we kind of got to talk about it again anyway. And it's simply this for me: overplayed, way too familiar. Here's the thing, I don't actually rate it, aside from one thing, which is, to me, if someone said to me, sum up Dragonforce from this era, it's this song. It's the showcase of Dragonforce from this specific era. This song sums them up, where it's just catchy melodic with a fancy edge combined with this absurd instrumentation that Dragonforce have.
Yeah, I mean, we already said quite a lot of what I would have said already when we were talking about it in the beginning. So, the fact that it is, there isn't many Dragonforce songs to me that I would know as being overplayed because, I'm not a massive fan, so I never really listened to them. And, I guess if you're not playing it yourself, you're probably not going to pick it out as being overplayed. I wouldn't necessarily have always known it was even them.
True.
But this one is obviously for all the reasons we've already said. But the thing with this song is, right, even though I would never ever purposely seek it out.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. I never pick my phone up one morning and go, oh, do you know what? I really, really want to listen to Through the Fire and Flames. But when it comes on, I do enjoy listening to it still. Okay. We know it's super fast, super catchy. It's a bit of a guitar fest. It's very glossy, flamboyant. and I did call it very self-indulgent.
Mhm.
But it is still a fun song to listen to. I still like it. You know, I enjoy it as a song.
Okay. Revolution Death Squad. Sticking to type, if there's one thing you can say about this album, it is that Dragonforce were quite consistent. I think this has a banger pre-chorus and a very fist-pumping beat. The chorus itself is quite memorable, even if it's not exactly excitement 101. And I also don't care for the random squeaking effects they throw in around the halfway point.
Yeah. So I also thought the start was really cool. I like the start. The drums are impressive. The guitars are solid, of course, but it's not anything that I've not already heard on the opener. And while I like the overall sort of speed of the song and the vocals are very good, because I think sometimes, you know, it's almost easy to focus on the guitars and forget that they're the very, very fucking good drummer in the background, they're a very good singer, and, you know, all of that happening as well. They sometimes feel like they get drowned a little bit in the guitars. I think the problem for me with this song is that so much happens in the first track on this album that by the time you get to this song, you feel like you've already heard it all.
Yeah.
Which is just insane because I'm 2 tracks in and it feels samey.
Wow.
Which I just found like to be insane. The weird effects bit, I did exactly word for word I wrote. The weird effects bit sound different, but they suck. And then I wrote loads of exclamation marks. It's a weird thing, really. Great drums, great vocals, great guitars, so much cool stuff going on, but it's just all the same. You know, so yeah, I'm not sold on it. It's like I love all the elements, but it's just the same elements. You just can't. It's the same thing. You know,
it's
just
pure Dragonforce.
Yeah.
What we got next? Storming the Burning Fields. Now, for me, it seems like the goal at this start of this track was clearly just to play as fast and hard as possible. Who cares if it actually sounds any good? But I did quite like this one. The vocals are really, really strong on this. And the chorus I thought was really, really, really hit me quite right.
I like the vocal melody in this one. I thought the vocals were great. And again, I felt like this is it has all those neat elements that I look at in a song and I go, my God, you know, describe this song to me on paper and I'm going to be like, this is going to be the most amazing thing ever. Yet it never hits that level.
Okay.
You know, and there are, again, some almost like 8-bit sounding guitar effects part way through, which add another bit of variety. But again, it's variety in a bad way. It's another bad choice, like the weird squeaking effects in the previous song. You know, so it's just it just seems to me like they sometimes make bad choices. For me personally, obviously, I'm sure for plenty of people they were good choices. I do like the kind of whoa bits, and I like the way it transitions back into major portion songs. There's a lot of stuff in it I like, but I'd never like throughout the songs so far, I never once get to the point where I'm really enjoying the complete picture.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always like, oh, I like this bit, it's really good, and then something happens where I'm like, oh, for Christ's sake, what'd you do that for? And then I'm like, oh, back in again, this is good. You know.
Yeah, and it's so rare as well. Like you're never getting a 3.5 minute, 4 minute max sort of burst, and that's what you're getting. So they're always so long. So there's so much in them. Operation Ground and Pound.
Yep.
A very video game style introduction, like heading through the dungeon to reach the boss at the very end. It then bursts into familiar Dragonforce speed, playing, and so on and so forth. It's only 4 tracks in, and for me at this stage, I was like, shit, this stuff's getting old really quick. I mean, the band were faint, you know, we didn't expect variety from Dragonforce, but it does have some suitably epic moments in it.
I started off just by saying that the name is cooler than the song.
Yep.
I like the name. The name's like, oh, this can be good, and then it's like, okay, it was all right. Operation Ground a little. It has moments, lacks a bit of magic again. It sounds like a mix of everything I already heard with very little new ideas brought to the table. Right. There are even moments in the song where I thought it was about to burst into Through the Fire and the Flames, mainly due to the two lines. One where in the verse he says, cry far away, but it's done in a way that it sounds like it's about to go so far away and go back into that. And then about 2 sentences later, they actually have the sentence and to end the pre-chorus, I think it is, where it goes so far away and it goes into something else. And I was like, bloody hell, I'm 4 songs in and you're just saying so far away over and over and over again to me now. You know, it has moments, like you said. I do like moments of it. I like the ending section in particular. There was some great soloing, which we know is always in there, but it was actually, I felt like it was worthwhile soloing. It wasn't just like, hey, everybody, get out of the way. I want to go. You know, this was like, oh, this is going to benefit the song, you know, which was cool. And also I like the fact that they have a kind of, just in the middle a little bit, they have a slowed down rhythmic section, you know, where actually you can kind of hear the rhythms, you can hear the bass, you can hear the drums kind of more clearly as the guitars sort of just step back a little bit and let other people have a go, which was quite nice. So yeah, it's got moments. It's just another one where it's not the whole way through for me.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. Body breakdown. We have a flurry that leads to a more chilled segment, and it is a bit of a shock. Short-lived, obviously, but it's still nice to hear them take their foot off the guitar break momentarily. I actually ended up falling in love with this track because of that alone. It's still Dragonforce playing out their skins, and the drums in particular, but I find this track more reserved and way more interesting because of that.
So there's a bit of an odd screechy thing that goes on at the beginning, which I didn't love, but then I very much like the drums in the intro after that. Drums actually throughout this album are very, very good. And that's one of the things with all the speed and everything that's going on, you know, we're always, because of who Dragonforce are, refer to the speed of the guitarist. But actually the guy who's sitting behind the drums is kind of leading everything, you know, keeping up with everybody. He's like, it takes 2 of them to make that speed. I can do it on my own, you know, with two sticks and some saucepans. So yeah, drums are really, really cool. I also really, really enjoyed the fact that there was a verse where the guitars weren't really there and they just allowed, like, you know, the song to kind of just be more natural, I think. Good chorus. I like the slow rhythmic start to possibly the longest solo so far in the album. I like the harmonizing part of solo too, but then I got really angry because I basically wrote, what is with this fucking stupid 8-bit shit again? Just fuck off with that. You've ruined the solo for me, and now I'm not listening to any more of the song. So I skipped forward. I refused to listen to the rest. So I don't know what happened after that.
Okay. All right,
protested.
You protested.
Yeah.
You carried on listening to the album though, so it wasn't that good of a protest.
Well, otherwise I would be protesting you, and it's not your fault what they did.
Cry for Eternity then. This feels massive from the moment it begins. The marching beat and ripping guitars build and build before erupting into epic Dragonforce playing. Another wild showcase of insanity from a band that really, truth be told, have no filter. That's what Dragonforce really, really lack, a filter. It's like I picture them at their jamming together in the studio and they're working together and there's no one there to go, maybe don't need that bit, maybe slow that bit down. And that's the thing. And with this track, I found myself getting more and more distracted as it went on. So by the time I got to the end, I was well and truly out of it.
Yeah, I think I was starting to get a bit like, because I've noticed as my writing goes on, I've become more sarcastic. So I guess I was starting to get a little bit like, you know, self-indulgent as well. But you know, it's quite a long song for a start. I know most of their songs are like a good 6 to 7 minutes long, but this is well over 8 minutes. And I wrote down probably before I've even started this, I look at that and I think, well, 7 minutes of that is going to be the same guitar, either wizardry or wankery, depending on your feelings, heard on Through the Fire and Flames.
Yes.
I do actually quite like this song, weirdly enough. It actually turned out to be one of the better ones for me on the album. I thought the intro was cool. It's got a nice kind of more of a head-banging rhythm to it. Not for long, but it's there at the beginning. The transition to soloing is good, and even the start of the solo is enjoyable. The vocals are very, very good. Drums are very good, all that usual stuff. And I was about halfway through and I'm not hating it. The effects in the first part of the 18th solo are a little more subtle and it works. I don't really know it was 18, but by this point, that's where I was getting to. But you wouldn't, if I said to you there's 18 Dragonforce solos in a song, you wouldn't go, no way. You'd be like, oh yeah, probably.
The very real possibility that was true.
So yeah, you know, And I was just pointing out that the fact that they put effects in there, but they kept them more subtle. When I did write down, see, genius. That's what you do. Again, there's a few little moments without it, crunchier rhythm bits, backing woes. I do think they overly stretched this song. I don't think it needed to be as long as it did, because they just seem to sometimes just feel like they have to keep going. Like you said, no filter, just fattening it out. Let's add another line and another, And actually, you trim 2 minutes of this song. It's probably a fucking great track. Yeah. But generally, I enjoyed this one.
Okay, that's good. You're enjoying a Dragonforce song. That's all we can hope for. The Flame of Youth. I've written the shortest for any track by track ever. I've literally just written, this is okay, and it's nice that it is concise. That's it.
Yeah, I thought it's a bit, another one. It's a bit disjointed, a little bit of variety here and there, though. Good drums, strong pace. It's not fresh, it's not new, but it's okay. I did again point out what's with this constant repeating of Through the Fire and the Flames across all the songs, though. Is it like a concept they were going through? Because here they actually use slightly different terms, but they go through the fire, through the flames. Instead, is one of the lines that comes up repeatedly. And that's not really helping to counter my argument of all you got to do is listen to one track to hear everything Dragonforce have to offer. And although it has good drums and good vocals, it has all the usual bits and pieces, all those bits again, solos, melody. Most of it has already happened in another song. So while it's not a bad thing to listen to, it's not new or fresh or exciting on the album either. It's just another blending in track.
It is utterly forgettable to me. I listened to this album overall quite a lot of my youth, and that track in particular, when that came up, I was didn't even remember it. So there you go. Which brings us to the final track. And if you've been waiting for something that is very different to a degree on this album, you are about to hit it. It is, of course, Trail of Broken Hearts. So sugary, it makes me sick to my absolute stomach. It is so sweet and so melodramatic that I almost hate it for that alone. Hate it for being so melodramatic. Then we have the added caveat that I think we've mentioned this in other track by tracks, and it applies to both of us, that we have sisters who are really into music, or at least the music they might listen to is going to be your modern pop R&B stuff that you get on the radio.
Anything on a Now album.
Exactly that. Basically. That. The sort of people to turn around and say, Take That song is a classic and stuff like that. Yeah. They love this track. And that's what, that's oh God, if they love it, that's never a good sign. But here's the thing. I actually still really like this track. I do. The vocals are just out of this world. AP Threat sounds fucking amazing here. I like the fact that keyboards are so prominent. I like the fact that the guitars are doing a melody rather than just going over and over again. It's not a track I want to listen to. I don't want to listen to it. I wouldn't put it on out of choice. But when I did this album and it got to that and it did that opening down, and I was like, okay, here we go again. I did enjoy it,
That's fair. I was the same as you. I remember when this was the in thing with even non-metal members of the family loving it, which would have naturally encouraged us away from it.
Yeah.
I genuinely, same as you, I'm sure, I haven't listened to this for years. I really, genuinely, not even randomly once, I genuinely think it has probably been over a decade since I've heard this song.
Mm-hmm.
But it does bring back some pleasant memories, and I did have a little smile when it started, and it's very nice. It's got great vocals, wonderful guitar work, a great chorus. It's structurally very different to the rest of the album, so it's a breath of fresh air at this stage. I think part of the reason why I really enjoyed listening back to this is partly because I haven't heard it in years, and I think that's done wonders for it now to listen back. If it's something that's been coming on over and over and over again over the last 10 years, even just a handful of times, I don't think it would have had the same impact this time around. And it also makes a huge difference for me that it comes at the end of an album where I was starting to get like a bit, oh, for Christ's sake, do something different, you know. Again, if it's just coming on its own in a mix where, you know, you got Shuffle on and fucking Slayer comes on, and then, you know, Deadwood Lake, and then fucking this song comes on, it probably doesn't quite have the same impact as it does when you're crying out for something a bit different, and then this comes on.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree with everything you said, man, about it is so melodramatic and so over the top and gushy and almost icky, you know, like it's like, ooh, this shit's got cooties, you know. But I also thoroughly enjoyed listening to it again. See, and I may now not listen to it for 10 years, but in 10 years' time, I'm going to enjoy it again.
That's it's exactly that. I kept thinking, like, it's like when you eat a marshmallow or two, you might enjoy it. Eat a bag full of marshmallows, but you're gonna feel like shit because of it. This is what this song does to me. You know, it's that thing. And eating the bag of marshmallows.
Dirty little secret, man. I'd be like heading down to B&Q with my car window open in the heat, and like something nice and heavy's playing, and then this comes on, and I'm like, quickly flick it over because the strangers on the street might think I listen to this. Like it's not embarrassing, but it's just like, oh, I don't want no one to know.
It's that as well, but also there's a damn good likelihood that some random person is going to go, oh, I really like that track, and it's going to be like your mother or something.
Some dodgy bird falling out of like some hip hop nightclub or something at 7 a.m. and just going, oh yeah, we was just in there banging away to this one, like, yeah, it's awesome.
I like fuck too.
Yeah, oh, it's the worst, isn't it? Name me 3 metal songs. Trail of Broken Hearts, Enter Sandman, and Nothing Else Matters. Like, damn it.
or American Idiot, Green Day always works.
Oh yeah, Green Day gets in there, or Blink 182.
Okay then, top 3 tracks of this album. Ain't got many to choose from.
Yeah, I couldn't have done a fourth. Oh, I would have struggled with the fourth. And to be honest, I struggled with the third. I was very happy to put Trail of Broken Hearts and Through the Fire and the Flames down as a 1 and a 2, not in any particular order. And then I went for Cry for Eternity as my third. But it could have been one of a couple.
Okay, we're pretty much exactly the same. I also put Trail of Broken Hearts and Through the Fire and Flames, but my third one is Body Breakdown. Funny enough, I think Body Breakdown is probably the best track for me on the album overall. It was the first one I put in bold for the top 3. So that was a kind of a given more than anything else.
Yeah. Cool.
Inhuman Rampage by Dragonforce. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?